Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. It's Cynthia, and I am getting ready to go to Hawaii. And every time I go on a trip, of course, I have to take a sketchbook. So I'm wondering which one I should take with me. And to start figuring that out, I thought I would share my sketchbook from Japan. This is the Moola sketchbook. I first found these in Paris. It's got the most gorgeous, smooth cover. And this is a watercolor sketchbook. Usually the sketchbooks aren't this fat, but when I was in Japan, I just was filling it with all kinds of cool stuff and little stickers. This is a sticker from a tea tin, and this is a pen holder from Muji, and this is a little medallion from the Traveler's Notebook company that I got at the train station. I don't usually have this much bling, but there's another cute little sticker from Japan. So I thought I would just do a little tour of the sketchbook. I went with my friend Jija. It's really hard to do this in opposite. Jija and I have been friends forever. She hired me way back in the day and taught me how to teach cooking classes. And I wanted her to go with me because she's a serious foodie, and I knew that she would have a great time with me. So what's different about this Japan notebook is there's a lot more stuff glued in. And I had fun along the way with, this is awkward. I want to show the journal, but you're probably not going to see me so much. Okay, so here's a map of the places we went. We took a tour. It was through Esprit Travel, and it was a tour about culture and art, and it was super fun and well worth all of the expenses that it was. I saved for a long time. This was my big 50th birthday present for myself. Every trip I do an alphabet. So you have the alphabet, you do all the letters of the alphabet, and then you gather words that go with those letters. And it's really fun when you're in a foreign country because you're just coming across all of these strange words and new language that you don't know, and it's just really fun to capture them all. Hi everybody, Karen and Sharon and Sally and Monica, Tammy, Tim, Carolyn, Sophia, Joao, all of you, it's great to see you here. So then as you go along, you fill in the words for the different letters of the alphabet. I also made little sketches. What I like to do when I go somewhere in a foreign country is I sketch the money, and this really helped me to get familiar with the yen and the coins and learn how to do, how to spend the money. The last thing I want to be doing is fumbling with the cash and trying to what am I doing when I'm trying to pay? So check this out. This is a metro ticket pocket. Look at this. Look at how cute this is. These magnetic metro tickets. And they came in this little envelope. I mean, is Japan just so amazing with all their fun stuff? Paper clips. This is a receipt. Of course, I'm drinking coffee. This is day one. And the one thing that I discovered in Japan is they have all these stamps. Everywhere you go, there's a stamp, whether it's a train station or a monument or a national, I'm so bad with the reverse. Now you know the truth about me. Anyway, I was having fun everywhere we went stamping things. This is the metro symbol, which I think is a very sexy M. And then, of course, there's lots of washi tape that I bought in Japan. Try to keep moving through here. I like to tip things in with the washi tape. I made different watercolor pages that I added in and painted later. Here's the coffee ring from the coffee. Cute little envelope with the sumo wrestler on it. The meals. Do I put watercolor washes on the pages ahead or do it as I go along? I do it as I go along. This was a pattern inspired by all the persimmons that I saw there in Japan. So lots of food. The ramen that we ate was really good. This was just the most amazing meal we had right at the beginning. We sat at the food bar and just watched all this food come out. It was all these different little small dishes. This is an old sake label that I put in there. and sketching at a shrine that we went to. This is a sketch of one of the kind of offerings that they give you as kind of a piece of candy. Thanks, Helena. I think my sketchbooks are kind of too crowded and kind of messy. I wish they were more orderly, but they just are what they are. We had a meal at this fancy restaurant, a French restaurant, like way up high, one of the first days of the tour, and I did a sketch of the Tokyo skyline, which was kind of uniform and kind of not very much variety. Then we went to Basket Gallery, and basket is almost like the wrong word for it. These were very much sculptural. This is a museum entry, so it's fun to use the washi tape to tape things in. The ginkgo leaves were everywhere. So, and then I realized that I didn't like the paints that I had brought, and so I had to buy more. I bought some new paints, and this was painting the palette on the page. And it was fall when we were there, so taping a leaf in. Again, using washi tape to tape in metro ticket. Ginkgo leaf stuck in there. Oh my gosh, we went to this tofu restaurant called Umeno Hana? I don't know how to pronounce that. And it was like a 24-course tofu feast. It was amazing. And I just stopped sketching about after 3 things because they were coming really quickly and I couldn't capture them all. But this was the menu, which you can see is in Japanese and completely illegible to me, but I saved it anyway. And you saw a lot of persimmons hanging and drying on people's porches all throughout the country, so I wanted to capture that. I love how I use the washi tape too, Monica. You know, you buy all this washi tape because it's just so fun, and then you have to use it. So this is a great way to do it. You know, you tape things in, you have to put the tape on both sides. We went to see this artist. I can get that. Okay. This is an American artist, Alan West, and he was just amazing. I can't even describe what he was about, but I was trying to take notes. And then later that day, we also went to this fabric manufacturer, Nuno. This woman was amazing. What they're designing with fabric is kind of mind-blowing. So I was trying to capture notes as much as I could. We went to a place, and I was like, do you have cappuccino? And they said no. They had sesame milk coffee, and I had no idea what that was, so I got it, and it was great. And this little coffee cream bun that came with it. More museum tickets. This was a little jam, as in jelly code at the breakfast from the hotel that was describing the different flavors of jam. Rice crackers were delicious that we bought all the way throughout. There's another ginkgo leaf. So it's usually I'm capturing coffee or tea when I'm stopped. That's when it's easiest to capture things. And then an Ikebana lecture that we had that was cool and inspired me to want to make Ikebana. Okay, then we moved on from Tokyo to Kyoto. And so that kind of requires a whole new alphabet. And I don't know if you can see over here, paperclip. I went kind of crazy and bought some paper clips in Japan. They have all these fun paper clips. So it was fun to do that. So you do the alphabet over the course of the week. You're not doing it all at once. You're filling in the letters, and then you're filling in sketches as you go. Here's another, we went to a lot of different temples, and this monk gave this lecture. This guy was like 31 years old, and he was a monk. He was totally in charge of this whole, his whole community. Like, he was the monk, the head monk. You're right, Joao, Japan is so much about the food. The food was amazing, and it tasted so good, and it was so complex and simple at the same time, and just seeing it was a complete entertainment. And a lot of the people on the tour were like, oh, this is weird, I don't want to eat that. I'm like, are you joking? This is like the most healthy, delicious food I've ever encountered. It just tastes so good going in. It feels good in the body. I never felt sick or heavy. I love Japanese food. I want to go back to Japan. So I love this one, this little insert that I did. And then this was some lanterns at the geisha show that we went to. This was me trying to paint and depict a Zen garden, you know, the kind that's got the sand raked and like rocks and trees that depict certain things. That's really hard to replicate in the sketchbook. This was a little, I think it was, what is that called? Chopstick holder. Oh, I love the receipts. This is so great. So there's this receipt and it's all in Japanese, and then my name, Cynthia Morris, or something that I bought. So that from my credit card, that cracked me up. This is a piece of indigo dyed fabric from the indigo guy that we went to see. And then some grapes that I painted and the grape stem. There's another monk. Actually, that's the 31-year-old monk. And then this guy, Robert Yellen, is an American who has a ceramics gallery. I started playing with the brush pen, which is not my normal thing, but we went to oh my gosh, what's it called? It'll come back to me, where you dip the beef in the boiling broth. So this was the coaster that I copied with the brush pen. And then we also went to a tassel maker. I mean, this guy and this woman, they've been making tassels forever. And just watching them and learning about that was pretty cool. I just was at the Jonathan Adler store here in Denver, and there was a sign on the wall and it said, "Tassels are the earrings of the home." And I thought that was really fun. Do they let you take watercolors into the restaurants? You know, then they never really stopped me from doing anything like that. But Helena, mostly what I do is I will draw all of this and sketch it and take notes, and then later in my room or at coffee, I will paint it in. So a lot of this is happening later. The notes that I took from the Ikebana, this was also another museum entry, or it might have been a temple entry. We also went to see a lantern maker. This was enormous. This was like 7 feet tall, and the family, all of them working in this. One guy does just the bending of the reeds. The other people are, you know, I can't even explain it. I took notes, which I could read to you, but that would be boring. It's fun to make these little peekaboo pages. I just want to go back to the lantern maker and the people that we saw. These artisans have been doing this for generations, and often the family, like, you would stay, like, so this guy had 2 or 3 sons, and the sons were also in the lantern making business, and one son did the reed bending, the other son did the paper, the whole process. It was just very specific, and it's also, it seemed like it was really kind of hard to have young people doing the crafts and arts like this, because they're not making a ton of money. These are heritage art forms that are kind of dying out, because it's not like people making a ton of money doing it. So it felt like we were almost like seeing the last of something, but I want to believe that it's going to keep going. So I took lots of notes. Then Jija and I rented a car, and we left the tour. The tour ended after about 9 days, and we rented a car, and this is us on a beach, the beach that you can drive on, and I drove on the left side. It was actually really fun and easy. We went to the Noto Peninsula, and we read this book called Fish Rice Noodles. It's a really fun book about Japan and the food, and in it was this place called Flats Inn. And we made a reservation, and like basically we built an entire day driving road trip around, just going to this place for lunch. It was amazing. It was so amazing. It was this Australian guy who married a Japanese woman, moved to her village, and they just like, they make their own fish sauce, and they make their own, which we bought some, and it was just stunning, just looking out at the sea and having this beautiful like 7-course meal. So great. And we bought some salt there, because it's where they're doing salt. There's this weird little creature in Japan called the Tanaka, and it's like bear, dog, monkey, and you see it on people's stoops, and it brings good luck. Then we went to Karasawa, which is in the middle of Japan, and we went there because we read an article in the New York Times Sunday magazine about this town that has all this really cool architecture, and we thought, well, let's go there. So we went there. We booked a room in a hot springs where it's like there's these different inns that have hot springs there on site. So we're like, let's do that. That sounds great. Well, we get there, and it's just kind of surreal because it's kind of like the Aspen of Japan, and it's off season, so there aren't a lot of people there. The hot springs was great. And this was a town where John Lennon used to hang out. So there's a cafe with a picture of him, and it's kind of, this is where John Lennon went because his wife Yoko Ono's family had a house there. So that was great. But when we got there, we realized like we can't actually do a tour of this architecture because it's people's homes. But we did rent bikes, and we biked to, we saw two things. There was this incredible stone church that was just gorgeous, and then this museum that was I forget the artist's name, Hiroshi Sun-Joo Museum. So this museum was built just for him and his art, and I think I have a card of it hanging up. It was the most incredible place. I don't know if you can see from this. You can see it's really open, and there are spots where it's cut out, and there are trees and things that are just growing in between, and it's all just this one artist. So in a way, it was worth it to go for this museum and the stone church. So, and then here we are at the train station at the what is it called? It's not the Midori. It's the Traveler's World. The Traveler's Factory, who makes the Midori, and they had all these stamps, so we went kind of crazy there with stamps. And then I wanted to do a page that was my favorite meals, so I just kind of made these different boxes for the different favorite meals. We ate, just to sum up what we ate, it was a lot of, we had a couple of really good ramen, and a lot of soba noodles at the tempura, and then the katseki meals, which was, it's like the 24-course meal, and each course is a specific thing, and it goes in a specific order. So it's something fried, something steamed, some seafood, meat. Like, so it's all a very specific kind of many-course meal. Hey, Eric, it's great to see you too. Thanks, Trudy. I just want to go back to Japan to eat more and buy more, frankly, because and to see more, of course, but like the food and the things that I bought, really fun. I found these old vintage sake labels, and just inspired by the patterns. So if I'm just like playing with copying a pattern, learning a lot, you can see behind me all of the Japanese postcard patterns that I did after I came back. This is just a gathering of the different tickets for museum entries and whatnot. So everything is just so carefully thought out. I didn't fill the pages. I didn't do it. Couldn't do it. Always at the end of the journal, I do flashes of inspiration. And this is things that, you know, how when you travel, you're somehow a better person. When you come home, when I go home, I'll be, you know, better. Or when I go home, I'll do this or that. So I got some ideas. So having a vase with sand in it to burn incense. I got an idea for illustrations for a book that I want to do. Making Japanese postcards. I wanted to do 25 of them. I think I might have done maybe half that. And resume my meditation practice, which I did. So, and then the one thing I don't like about the Moola notebooks is they don't have pockets in the back. So I made my own. This is a library card pocket, and this was a piece of, this is some nori that came with one of the meals that I just saved and put it in. I mean, is there anything better than a library card pocket with nori sheet in it? I mean, that's so right? and then an envelope that I put other things in. So I really love this journal. This was super fun, and I've been wanting to make a video and show you for a long time, and then finally I was like, just do a Facebook Live, because I'm going to Hawaii on my honeymoon. We leave a week from Friday, and of course I'm going to take a sketchbook. So I could take another Moola watercolor one. I love this. And let me type in how you spell Moola. Uh-oh. That's Moola. With umlaut. Oh, something's happening. Okay, that's not right. There's no umlaut, but oh no, we don't want that. It's tagging somebody, and I don't want to do that. This is starting to be a boondoggle, isn't it? Forget it. I'll write it in later. Okay, so when I first found the Moola, it was in Paris at one of my favorite art supply stores, and it was this gorgeous. I mean, if you could feel this, it's almost like slate. It's just beautiful. And this is watercolor paper. So just to compare sizes, like this doesn't just slip in your backpack. It's about twice the size. So I have done that once. I did this in a Moleskine sketchbook. I took this to, I think this is Amsterdam, Paris, Berlin, and you just get a lot more, you've got more, it's bigger. I mean, it's bigger. It's pretty much the same except big. And so here's the Berlin alphabet, sketching in Berlin, more Berlin. Oh, I like this page. Let me show you this. Wait. This was the view, the Bauhaus Rixdorf across from my Airbnb. So I love to just sit there and sketch it. Lots of people sitting outside. I don't mean to go through a big tour of this, but I did want to get to that page. This one, it was really fun to, this was some font in the subway, and I stopped to copy it. And then Barcomi's is a kind of a wonderful cafe in Berlin. So, I mean, you can see I pulled it off, but when I first pulled this out in Amsterdam and I'm crouching next to a canal to sketch a canal boat, I was really self-conscious. Look at how big it is. I mean, it's big. It's big. And so I'm a little nervous about whether I should do the big for Hawaii. I mean, I think it could be really beautiful because I'm going to be working on the 100-day project, and I'm going to be doing patterns. So I think I could have a lot of fun with patterns on big paper, but this is easier. So I wanted to get your vote. Say big or small, big or small. Which one do you think I should do? And I'll type Moola in another document so it doesn't make it a tag thing. Give me your thoughts on whether I should use the big one or the small one for Hawaii. Whee! Go big, says Eric. Moola. Go big for the challenge, Sophia. Yes. Sophia, what about you? When you're a watercolor artist, when you're traveling, do you have a sketchbook, and do you use big or small? I mean, go for the big. I love it. This is why I have friends like you guys who are going big all the time. And if you're painting, I'd go big. Bigger seems better. So Helena says, bigger seems better, flow in notes and sketches, but more cumbersome. Take a small 2 for hikes in the rainforest. Washi tape it in the big one. Well, that's an idea. Okay, so hold on a sec. I'll be right back. So for the 100-day project, I'm doing the individual patterns on, I'm going to cut off this top part, but so I'm going to be bringing a bunch of paper about this size. So it could be that I would be tipping some things in. This is Moola paper, this is the really thick one, the Leonardo. It's really gorgeous. And then this is also Moola, these postcards. Moola is a sponsor of my Capture the Wow trips, and they're just wonderful. So I've been using a lot of their materials and love it. I mean, I really love the notebooks. Okay, so small, easier to keep with you and do spontaneous works. Depends on where you're going in Hawaii. Beach, small, mountains, big. Dana, we're going to Kauai, and we're going to be in the beach and the mountains. We're going to be snorkeling and scuba diving and hiking and kayaking and lying around and, of course, eating. I'm tending to go toward big, even though it's going to be not as easy to carry. I'm going to have to be sure to have a bag that will just slip in and out of easily, because I will be working small with the 100-day project patterns. And it feels bolder and braver to go with something big. I mean, bigger isn't always better, and bigger isn't always more brave, but okay, so anybody else have a thought about, any questions about my sketchbook process, or any thoughts about whether I should go big or small with the sketchbook? I'm just scrolling back to see. I really love doing, just one little thought about the sketchbook process while traveling. It really just helps me to have a way to interact with the world around me and my own creativity. It helps me slow down. It helps me notice more. It's just much more fun. And then I have something vibrant and colorful that I can show when I come home. So, of course, I'll be scuba diving because I just got my certification. Yes, Linda. Okay, it's almost 27 minutes. Like, wow, that goes really fast. There's a lot to show in the sketchbook, so I really appreciate you coming on and being with me with my sketchbooks and giving me your feedback and encouragement. So I'll be doing more Facebook Live, not from Hawaii because I will be taking off and complete vacationing. But I just wanted to share this with you, get your thoughts and advice. Tammy says you should go small. You don't want to be overwhelmed journaling while on my honeymoon. Sophia says she takes a small watercolor sketchbook for quick sketches and a larger 9x12 for more finished paintings. Okay, that's good. I really, frankly, just love hearing how other people do it, and it really is. I think it depends on what the trip is about and what you plan on doing. You know what I might do, because I'm going to be in Paris for 3 weeks in May, is I might save this for Paris. But this is where I bought it, so I can always get another one there. Oh, I don't know. So indecisive. I'll figure it out. Okay. Okay, Monica, I think you should start working on the journal. I think you should do it. Thank you. Thanks, Helena. Joao, following our instinct is the best. You're so right. You're so right. So right. Okay. Thanks, Trudy. Great to see you. It's awesome to have people who are, Trudy, you're in Australia. Joao, you're maybe still in Switzerland. Helena, yeah, to have people from all around the world. That's really fun. All right, everybody, I'm going to go meditate on this and see what's the right thing. This is really fun. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a great day. And maybe go play in your own sketchbook. Woohoo! All right, talk to you later. Bye.